Welcome back, everybody. This is Jim Hickey with websitepresence.org, returning to you with the second video, and actually the first part that pertains specifically to the new ebook I'm releasing, Keyword Research Demystified, the second edition. In this video, we're going to go through some of the basics behind what we'll be doing in the next videos, which will be going into things in much more detail, just kind of to ease you into the process and get some of the terminology you need to be familiar with and some idea of where we're going to be going in the future. So what are we going to be covering with this video? Well, we will specifically be looking at the motivation behind this ebook. Why did I bother putting it together? That has to do with things about great rankings, but you get no traffic with some of your content. In other instances, you get you bothered to go and look and find out there's great traffic potential, but you don't ever get those things ranked. We'll be looking at that in more detail. Why bother with keyword research at all? Is there times where you might not want to? Keywords defined, because there's something specific there, and we're going to introduce you into keyword match type, because we're going to, something we'll be talking about using a specific match type and actually doing the keyword research as we're moving forward. So you give you a basic understanding there, or at least get you ready for it. And then, is there the ideal keyword? In other words, is there the holy grail formula for keyword research? And one thing I'll warn you about, technically speaking, if you were to go out to the web today, to go to a search engine, type in your keyword term, hit return, come up with a number of competing pages, you've started to do some level of keyword research. Of course, that's pretty rudimentary, pretty broad, and not really going to get you very far. Usually in today's world, unless you're really lucky, there's more steps involved to find better keywords in which to focus on, to create content, to put in various places so people find it, which is really what our goal here is to get the content to people, connect with people, so that we can then build a relationship, get them comfortable, and let them act upon our recommendations, basically, hopefully to buy things, since we're internet marketers, things as we're moving along. Okay, so what was the motivation behind the Keyword Research Demystified ebook rewrite? And basically it comes down to a lot of my personal experience in having that kind of come back to light after I've been, going into different forums and people complaining about, or actually complaining in some instances, or being concerned about the fact that, they went and they got this piece of content done, they put it out in easy articles or hub pages or did a video, and it's ranked high in Google, but it's not getting any traffic, or it's high in here, there, or wherever, or it appeared on easy articles, but it then fell off, and when I do a search in easy articles, it doesn't pop up later. There's all these questions going on about what's going on with the content that they generated, the keywords that they use to focus in on generating that content, and why they're having these issues. And a couple of examples of where I ran into problems, and this is a couple years ago. A friend of mine, an associate acquaintance in a group that I've been associated with for a long period of time, created a blog post on his site called Blog Traffic Techniques, Net Traffic Machine. And since I had just learned some techniques, I wanted to see if I could actually rank up for that term as well. And I did some quick searches. It looked like, hey, there might be some traffic here associated with it. Didn't do things totally appropriately. However, I did get ranked quickly. I mean, within a day, I was sitting on page 1, and within a couple of days, I was actually in this position. And it really hasn't moved ever since. But now that's all said and good. It's been 2 years almost since that blog post has been sitting there. The fact that I haven't done much to this blog lately and thrown any links at this one post, and the fact that it's still in position number 2 is already an indication that maybe there isn't so much competition there or search. As it turns out, if you go look at this site and find out the number of searches I get per week for that blog traffic techniques keyword, it's usually between 1 and 2. So it's I really didn't understand the whole search volume thing at that point. In case number 2, I got a little bit luckier. I don't remember if I actually looked at the search volume, but I did a better job, at least with the research I was doing, picking some keywords. So I picked WordPress banner, for instance, in this case, in order to do a search. In this hub page, which is down here, the first three things up here are all WordPress.org. That is WordPress. And here I am at number 4, sitting down below them for, a word here. And if you go look at the traffic stats for this hub page, it gets 20 to 25 visitors per day from the search engines, plus a number of visitors from hub pages itself, because if you go in and even type in WordPress widgets at hub pages, this is listed first. So, that's a case where it actually did work. I get traffic from it and some ensuing business sales, whatever the case may be from that, or people signing up for a list. And, but, to be honest, I got lucky because I really didn't do the level of research I did today. I may have picked different words or maybe not even picked this word, because this is a pretty actually competitive niche, WordPress. But anyways, so we'll be going through examples of some of these things in more detail and more specifically, and I'll show you the cases where things didn't work so well, cases where things did work so well, and why they work so well as we go forward and work through the case histories part of this video series. Okay, so why bother with keyword research? Well, because people go to the web searching for info, and it's the keywords, the tags that people, that are the search functions along the web actually use in order to connect people with the content they're looking for. And yeah, everybody thinks about the search engines and Google as being all of that when it comes down to search, but in reality, almost every web page out there has a search function in it, and people use those search functions in order to find things. Things like hub pages and YouTube and the forums and Dig and Facebook and Squidoo, and the list goes. Oh, Easy Articles is another one, right? You go there and you search for things. Is there ever a case where you wouldn't want to do keyword research? Well, yeah, if you're so well known and your name's so unique, and if you just put up a website, people are going to be flocking to you. You don't have to do any keyword research. Don't know many people like that, but in reality, even when those people, because even celebs, first of all, their name might be competitive, and somebody will be competing with you for it. Just because you have a name, if it's not somehow trademarked, you might have company with people taking other versions of your name, putting it into websites and trying to rank for it against you. So, they're going to be doing other content, YouTube videos and whatever the case may be, so they'd probably want to be doing keyword research or have somebody doing it for them, probably, but whatever the case may be. All right, so, is there ever a case where you don't want to do some keyword research? I don't know, maybe not. What are keywords? Well, they are the term or phrase that somebody enters into the search function of a site, be it the search engines or the search functions on hub pages or Easy Articles, YouTube, whatever, in order to locate and connect with information, and hence connect with you, because that's our information. So they are keenly important. They connect us with people who are looking for stuff on the web. And one thing we'll be going through in more detail is the different match types between broad match, phrase match, an exact match. Broad match, very broad terms. If you have a 3-word keyword term like blog traffic techniques, those words could be anywhere on the page. And usually when you connect with those pages, they may not even be relevant to what you're doing, because those words could be used in a different context. Phrase match, the words are all together but could be part of a longer phrase that people are entering. Exact match is the exact phrase they're entering, and we'll see why you want to be thinking about those things as you're moving forward. What is the ideal keyword? Well, one that has a decent number of exact match searches. And the reason why exact match, because that's what people are, if that's the keyword term you're focusing on, and that's the keyword term that people are entering into the search function, those are where you really want to be connecting, because that's where the greatest relevancy is going to be. Next, you want to do a competition analysis, and that's going to be the number of competing pages that are out there in various forms. You're going to do an analysis of that in a couple different ways. You'll see how to look at the page rank and the number of links going into things and on-page factors. And even though, a lot of people will say, oh, this is SEO, this is search engine stuff, when you go through these steps and you find the appropriate keyword terms, even when you're putting that content in place like hub pages or zine articles or YouTube, whatever the case may be, it's not going to hurt you. It's going to help you. Even get noticed within those search functions within those specific sites. So again, there's a reason to keep doing this, even though we keep going back to things that people would associate with search engines, Google. Okay. All right, and other things you want to look at, is there a stable or growing trend associated with that word, and the reasons why you want to be doing that. Is it a short-term trend that's out there? Are you at the end of that term, the beginning of that term? You don't want to be at the end of it. The end of the cycle or the growing trend of that term. But, if you knew something was about to break and going to be big for a while, even though it's going to die off in the future, maybe you want to know that and shoot for something real quickly. Again, that's part of your analysis as you're putting your business together and your business strategy relative to keywords. And you want to take the right keyword type for your target audience, buying keywords for people looking to buy things, information-related keywords for people who are looking for information, who still might do something constructive like get onto a list, or if you have AdSense ads on your site that has informational type things on it, they may click on that as well. So again, it depends on what you're doing. It's going to have a major constraint on what you're doing or the way you want to go. Okay, what's up next? Part 2 is the keyword evaluation, and we will be looking specifically at doing a search volume evaluation, what it takes, how to adjust things in the Google keyword tool, because that's a free tool we'll be using. There are other tools I actually use that are paid tools, but we're not going to cover those in this video because we're going to try to get you something for free, right? Which is always good. And this is a good first estimate of how to go about doing things. It's a good tool to use. So we'll look at this, how you do the search volume in Google Keyword Tool specifically. Then we'll look at the number of competing pages using a phrase match search within the Google search function directly. So that's going back to the search engine itself and doing a certain type of search there. And then use the all entitle operator to do a search function for the number of competing pages that have that term within its title. And that's kind of the first level of competition analysis. Then the phase after that will go into the more detailed competition analysis. Okay, so I hope that gives you a better idea where we're heading with this, gives you some of the background information you need to understand what we'll be doing in the next phase, which is the keyword evaluation phase. This is Jim Hickey. We'll be talking to you again soon.